first thing you notice is that I've given you a lot more information than you're used to seeing. I tell you about a man who marries a woman, and then I tell you about their parents. But I still want you to attack it and deal with it the same way. So the first thing we're going to put down are the two parents, parent 1, parent 2, and then what's dominant and what's recessive. I didn't give you a letter, so you guys can choose your own letter. So anybody want to give me a letter that we can use? Champagne? R's. So I have a capital R and a lowercase r. And typically people, when I ask for letters, you guys are going to come up with the craziest letters you can. Try to keep something that makes sense to what we're using. Right? Somebody was saying Z, Q. They have nothing. Try to pick something that has to do with what we're talking about. So what's big R going to be? What's the dominant trait? Santa? Brown. What's the little R going to be? Emily? Blue. Now I can go up and deal with the parents. Tell me about one of the parents. Somebody read exactly what it says about them. I don't care about their parents. I don't care about anything. Just tell me about that parent. Kylie?
Brown eyes.
So a brown-eyed man. I know he's got brown eyes. I'm just going to write that there for right now for myself. What about the woman? Emily Marilyn?
She has blue eyes.
His mother has blue eyes. He's not marrying his mother, I hope.
Is also brown.
She also has brown eyes. I put the colors down instead of the letters, and there's a reason for this. For her to have brown eyes, or for him to have brown eyes, what do one of his letters need to be? Rebecca? Has to be a capital R. I don't know what the second letter is. How come? Because this is dominant. If it's a lowercase r, what color is the eyes going to be? Brown. If it's an uppercase r, it's still going to be brown, so I don't know. So I'm just going to put a question mark. That's something I got to figure out. Not enough information has been given to me to figure that part out. How about the woman? What am I going to start to put for her genotype? A capital R. And then I'll put a question mark, because I don't know what that second letter is. I don't know what that second allele is. I'm going to have to use their parents to figure it out. Right? So this guy, what do they tell us about one of his parents? Emily Blind?
Brown eyes?
No.
No, blue eyes.
She's got blue eyes. So what's her genotype got to be if she's going to have blue eyes? What's the only way the blue eyes will show up? Michaela?
Lowercase.
She has to have two lowercase b's. But what about her father? What does it tell us about him? Carly?
The father has blue eyes.
So what does his genotype have to be? I don't know anything about the other parent, do I? We just talk about the one parent? But it doesn't matter, because I'm going to show you. I'm going to look at the grandparents. The grandparents, the dad and the mom. Right? So I get question mark, little b, question mark, little b, question mark, little b, question mark, little b. What's his second letter have to be? Santa?
Isn't this supposed to be a little R?
Yeah, little r. You're right. I'm so used to using b's. Let me fix that. Sorry if I confuse you guys. So this guy, his mother only has little r's to give up. So what's his second letter have to be? It has to be a little r. And if you look, I did the Punnett square for his parents. Every one of their kids got a little r. So I know whatever that first letter is, his second one's going to be a little r. And the same thing about her father. He's got blue eyes. So what's her second letter have to be? Riley? Why does it have to be a little r? The only letter he has to pass on one of his letters to his kid. What's the only letter he can pass on? Lowercase r. So we know his mom, he's got brown eyes. She's got brown eyes, but he didn't get it from her father because he's got blue eyes. The only thing he could give to her is the blue eyes. So that's how we know hers. And now we can solve it like we would typically solve it. I set up my Punnett square. I take the first parent and put him on top. Second one on the side. What's going to be in that box right there? The first one, right? And what do we call capital R, capital R? What kind of dominant? You write dominant. Is it the same or different? The same. So you got it. Homozygous dominant. Great. What's going to go in that box right there? Uppercase and lowercase. And what do we call that? They're different. Rebecca? You got it. Heterozygous. What's going to go in this box? Riley? And what do we call that? Heterozygous. And our last box. Carly? And what do we call that? Which one? Dominant or recessive? Recessive. Good. So now we're going to put our genotypes down. And what are the different possible genotypes that their kids could wind up with? Kylie?
Oh, genotypes?
Yep.
Wouldn't that be the...
This is a genotype.
Oh, right.
So what are the different possibilities the kids can wind up with, the different possible genotypes?
One homozygous.
Homozygous what?
Capital.
Dominant or recessive? Homozygous dominant.
And then homozygous recessive one.
So what do we call that? Not homozygous recessive. Oh, you're talking about this one? One homozygous recessive. I'll put that that's just the way I do it, I put it at the end. And what's the other ones?
Heterozygous.
How many?
2.
2 heterozygous. So now we got to do the phenotypes. The phenotypes is what are they going to look like? So what are they going to look like? Carly?
They will have brown eyes.
3 brown, 1 blue. So what is the probability that they're going to have a blue-eyed child? Probability. 1/4. So 1 out of 4, or in a percent, what would that be? Or 25% chance of blue eyes. That's our answer. Every single kid they may have 8 kids. All 8 kids may wind up with blue eyes. It doesn't mean that, it means every single kid has a 1 out of 4 chance.